Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 5th of June for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to share some standout details that we can all relate to, but please stay with me. I will explore in much greater detail each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces. Now this week begins with the Sun still in the sign of Gemini, but at the end of last week, the moon in Sagittarius was exactly opposite, creating the lunation, the full moon. So I feel that there's a lot of conversation that could be going on, and some of it can be about relationships and some of it can be about finance. And with Venus gliding into Leo for a 4-month occupation also on Monday, that brings that financial and relating dimension sharply into focus. But what does the host of Leo hold for Venus? Well, it's a very grand sign, Leo, but also very warm and is ruled by the Sun. So it really is encouraging us to be more optimistic about the way we interact with one another. And because Mars, the planet of passion, is already waiting for Venus in Leo, that's a very dynamic combination. But we can still grapple with our everyday finances. Mercury is aligned with the planet of innovation on Monday and Tuesday. Some fresh approaches could work well. And all week we still have Jupiter and the North Node, the true North Node, in touch within 3 degrees. And that also can bring some things to bear that maybe are related to our past attitudes and even hard work. There could be some rewards that come through and flow through from that combination. But Venus and Jupiter are in a square as this week goes on. That becomes exact on Saturday, and that may make it quite hard to resist anything that's remotely calorific goodie or yummy. So if we're going out and having a good time at any kind of gathering, a diet plan could come under a degree of pressure. But as this week goes on, there is a beautiful link between Mercury and Neptune. And if you are somebody who really enjoys film or photography or very atmospheric settings, getting out into nature could be very, very pleasing to our senses. However, on Saturday there is a quarter moon in Pisces squaring up with the Sun in Gemini. Just be conscious that there could be a degree of mischief making going around. You know, anyone that we encounter that we don't know very well is probably not the best person to share anything with of a more confidential nature. So important to keep our cards pretty close to our chest. But over the last couple of months, Mercury has been in the sign of Taurus. It entered there on the 4th of April. It went into its pre-retrograde shadow on the 7th, then into the retrograde on the 21st. It emerged from that on the 15th of May, before emerging from the post-retrograde shadow on the 31st of May. So if there has been some sluggishness around communications or thinking concerning finances, I think that should start to really make way as this week draws to a close, because Mercury returns to one of its 2 home signs of Gemini. So we're going to see a speeding up, and that potential to interact more socially from Venus and Mars is really going to have an added component to make it that much more enjoyable and come to life. But also, as the week draws to a close, Pluto does inverse back into the sign of Capricorn, where it's been since 2008 for 15 years through to the 23rd of March. I think this is just pushing us to be as realistic as possible about anything to do with our worldly roles, employment matters, our goals and ambitions. Capricorn's an earth sign, and it asks us to work hard and conform to expectations and well-established norms, whereas Pluto in Aquarius is much more radical. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out over the next months, but particularly through to when Pluto returns to Aquarius on the 21st of January next year. Now, if you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new here, it's great to have you with us, and I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Every time I drop a video, you will get an alert. And if you'd like to get your free written daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, please see the link beneath this video. I've been writing these for nearly 3 decades, and it would be really great to connect with you every single day of the week. Now, in terms of ascending above zodiac astrology, if you would like to embrace the wonder of more serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can produce for you your life roadmap report. This helps you to really understand what you were given at birth, how the patterns are playing out, but get a much more intimate understanding of what really makes you tick. Also, in my special package of 30% off, you can get your 12-month personal forecast, totally unique to you, which can give you searing insights. If you don't know your time, just tell me your place and date of birth, and I can produce your solar package, but also with a forecast with 30% off. Please see the link beneath this video for those too. So Scorpio, your week commencing the 5th of June forecast begins with the energy of the full moon still very strongly manifesting itself. And it may be that you're thinking very much about an issue that's important to you in terms of your values, or it may be a financial matter itself, and something may need further discussion. But if that's the case, the fact that Mercury combines with Uranus but also Neptune this week, you can find the right choice of words finally after what may have been a bit of a slower period for communication. Maybe someone you were chatting to earlier in the year has seemed preoccupied or busy or distant, but by the end of this week you're actually going to reconnect in a really positive way. And it's also possible that someone is going to emerge over the next 4 months who's going to be quite the supporter of you. This could be someone you encounter in a professional situation, but it's not just your skills and talents that they seem to warm to. It could be your persona. The way you go about things can be something they really appreciate, and they may be quite happy to push you into the limelight so that you take and gain greater recognition, which can be hugely gratifying. Also, Mars continues its journey in the sign of Leo as Venus joins, but that gives you that much more self-confidence. Venus can give you some delicacy and some diplomacy if you are having any interviews, doing any presentations, trying to cultivate important contacts. That combination, along with Mercury travelling faster as this week goes on, is all going to be to your benefit. Now, of course, on Sunday, Mercury does move into your 8th house to join up with the Sun. But the great thing about that, that's very much in keeping with the energy of your sign, which gives you that ability to see beneath the surface, to not just hear what people are saying, but to understand the subtext. But your modern ruler Pluto does reverse back into the sign of Capricorn as this week draws to a close. And it just suggests through to the 21st of January next year, there may be some ideas or belief systems that are important to you that are going to become much more at the centre of your focus. So I feel more home, emotional and family-based issues have taken precedence over the last couple of months. Now I feel that your idea sector comes alive once more with your modern ruler's help.